After an extended off-season due to the global COVID-19 situation, it's almost time for the 2020 FIA Formula 3 Championship to roar into life. So, for those of you just joining us, here's the lowdown as we enter the new season. A packed grid of 30 cars awaits each and every round on the calendar. Unchanged from 2019, the Dallara F3 2019 chassis will test the drivers to their limits.
Formula 3 is intense. It's always a lot of adrenaline, really close racing, and you can't make a mistake.
30 drivers in very competitive cars. It will be some very close racing and very competitive at some of the best circuits in the world.
People should watch F3 because it's high class of junior racing. The races are super interesting.
Unlike some people in the championship above us, we don't hold back and we will send an overtake if there is a space there.
If you've never watched F3 before, you should watch us because some of us will most likely be in F1 shortly.
There are 2 races per weekend, with race 1 on Saturday and race 2 on Sunday.
Obviously for changing this year for 2020 compared to the previous seasons where only the top 8 have been awarded points in the reverse grid races. For this year now, they've changed it to the top 10, which means the person who finishes in 10th place will start on pole position, which is basically a complete reverse of the race results from race 1. It obviously mixes things up because it means now obviously you can fall to 10th and still start for pole position, which is going to make it harder to come through after, say, if you have a good result in race 1.
So the new point system, of course, race 2 will be much more exciting than before because of the 2 extra players that gets points. Especially if you have a bad race 1 and you can somehow make a lot of places, you still have the extra reward of the points.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, the original calendar has been heavily modified. F3 is now looking at 8 European rounds to start things off, running on the same weekends as F1 and F2. More venues are expected to be announced in due course, so keep your eyes peeled for updates. Part of the FIA Global Pathway, Formula 3 represents a big step towards the very top of motorsport in Formula 1, and that means the drivers are hungrier than ever.
Formula 3 is one of the most competitive championships at the moment, and of course it's the road to Formula 1.
I'd just say it's a smaller version of Formula 1. Everything's pretty much the same, it's just on a smaller scale.
There's a lot of overtaking. The battles are extremely nice. Last year I would watch every single race and it was basically addicting for me not to watch Formula 3 and Formula 2 because just the racing is amazing.
There are old friends, famous names and new faces this year in the championship. Many of last season's frontrunners have moved on. So who will be in contention in 2020?
No, I don't have to do this now.
I think it's an unfair question as of right now.
If I'm allowed to quote Kimi Raikkonen here a little bit, I think maybe whoever has the most points at the end of the year will win the championship.
Who's going to win Formula 3? Me.
To be honest, I don't know who will win the championship this year. Obviously, it's been very, very competitive. Richard Verschoor is going to win the FIA F3 championship.
I hope I win the championship this year, that's my plan. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy task. Got a lot of other competition, so it'll be a tight one and I definitely can't call it yet.
It's already too close to call. Don't miss the action as we get started in Austria.